next guest fights at Combate 31 coming up here on February 22nd. She is the former Bellator strawweight champion. It is Zoila Frausto joining me here on the program for the very first time. Zoila, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm great. Thank you.
That's great. It's great to talk to you. I mentioned the the resume off the top a little bit there. Of course, people watching this probably do remember you from winning your title in Bellator, but you've been away from the MMA cage for a couple of years now. February 2016. I know you've been doing some kickboxing, fought for glory. What have you been up to since the last time we saw you in MMA?
I've still been keeping up with MMA. I've been training here and there, but I switched over to kickboxing and Muay Thai. I never really did that. I just kind of went straight into MMA when I first started, and Muay Thai was what I really wanted to do. I had some things going on. I moved from Cincinnati right after that world title back here to California, and I wanted to get away from MMA for a little bit. So that's what I did, and now I'm coming back to it. So I fought one MMA fight, I believe, since I've been back to California these last 5 years, but it's been a while. No, 2 MMA fights. So it's been a while.
Yeah, I remember the one fight you had for RFA, which, I mean, had that gone your way, I think we would have seen you in the UFC. That was against Jocelyn Leibarger. So it just goes to show, like, how long your career's been. It's been pretty incredible. I know you also tried out for, if I'm not mistaken, you tried out for Tough 28, did you not?
Yes, I did. I actually made the was 28 for the 25ers and 145.
Or sorry, was it 20? I always get the numbers mixed up, but it was the women's.
I actually tried out for both. I made the 20. I made it for the 25ers, but that's when I had the ACL tear. So a week before, I couldn't go. Like I was scheduled to be on there. I was one of the girls, but a week before that had happened, I found out that my knee was completely torn and I had to get my ACL done again. So. That sucked. I was really looking forward to it. And then for the 45ers, I went and did that too as well. But they made me the first alternate. So, what can you do with that? It was just mainly because it's not my weight class. And I was just coming back from a surgery and a major injury. So, but I was, I guess, their first alternate, but it still really didn't do much.
Well, props to you anyways for fighting up, 2 weight classes. That's pretty crazy that you would have done that just to get on the show, because that was at 45s. I know a lot of the women that ended up getting selected were mainly bantamweights, but that's credit to you to doing that. I mean, you almost made the show, like you said.
Thank you. No, I mean, I've been fighting for a very long time. And for me, when it comes to weight classes, I mean, I've fought at 115, 125, 135. I just recently fought at 145 for Muay Thai. And, I don't really have a problem going up and down. Down, not so much anymore. 115, that's probably never going to happen again. But, I'm a fighter. I've been doing this for a very long time, and this is what I love to do. So I can do that, 145. I had no problem.
And you mentioned, the flyweight season for Ultimate Fighter. You tried out for that, and that was a done deal. And then you had the injury. Was there ever any talks after that? Because I would, I know obviously that you took a step away, but I imagine it just seems odd that they wouldn't have at least done it because you were a former Bellator champion.
Yeah, you would think, because I went into those interviews, and it was like they didn't know who I was, and they were surprised with my resume and the girls that I've beaten, the girls that were. That are in the UFC, still are in the UFC, the girls that I've fought and what I've done. But for whatever reason, nothing followed after that. So who knows? I have no idea. I really don't know. I haven't really been in talk with anybody about what the deal is, so I just figured I just got to get back to MMA and do what I love to do,
Get some momentum going, and that starts here, like I mentioned off the top, with Combate. How did this come together, and is this like a multi-fight deal? How does this all work out?
I believe it's just a single fight. I've been trying to fight ever since that. Ever since I fought in October, I fought Elizabeth Phillips, who is a UFC vet too, in Muay Thai though. I beat her at 145, and then I just really wanted to get busy again. I really want to stay busy and continue to fight, because that's, where I got a lot of my success, was being busy. Lately, these last, I don't know, however, it's been like 5 years or so, I've been fighting once a year, twice a year, maybe 3 times a year. And I just I want to stay busy, and I want to fight. I'm motivated to fight, especially after coming back from my second ACL surgery. And I feel great. I know a lot more than I've ever known, and I've been doing a lot more than I've ever done. So, I wanted to get an MMA fight because, it's been a while since I've been in MMA. I had a little anxiety there, especially shooting to the top as fast as I did. And then, I had a lot of personal problems happen right after that. And then I had my first ACL tear. So I kind of took a step back from MMA because I had a little anxiety with it, and I wasn't feeling it. So and that's when I switched over to Muay Thai. But I mean, a lot of time has passed, and I've learned so much more. I'm a better athlete. I'm a better fighter. And I just want to get back to MMA, you know. So I figure what the best way to do it. And with Combate, they're going to Fresno. That's my home. I haven't been there in a very long time. I haven't fought there in many years, and I'm excited to fight MMA in front of my people.
And just one more thing before we talk about the matchup, you also signed on with Iridium Sports, which they seem to get everyone in the UFC these days. How did that all come together, linking up with Jason House and company?
I've known them for a very long time. I mean, for 10 years, like my entire career. I've known Jeremy for a very long time. Jason, same thing. I've known them forever. I've dealt with a lot of horrible management throughout my career. So at the end of this last one, after that RFA fight, it just made sense to go with people that I knew, you know, and I saw what they were doing with a lot of the other fighters, and you know, they have a way in to a lot of different places. And so I figure, you know, if I want to stay busy and I want to get good fights, I'm gonna go with them. So, you know.
Yeah, and it's certainly worked out great. And let's talk about your opponent here, Jaimee Nievera. People will remember her from Contender Series. She fought Antonina Shevchenko. How do you feel like you match up against her here?
I feel she's good at everything. She's been around for a little while. She's fought a bunch of our girls. She's fought my sister. She's fought Sarah Zalalio and Charlene Gellner. She didn't make weight against my sister or Charlene, so she's moving up to 125, which is good for me because now I can fight her. You know, I think she's just kind of good everywhere, you know, and she's been around for long enough to know a lot. So I think it's a great fight for me to come back to MMA, and I think it'll be a great win for me to come back to as well.
I agree. How about training camp? Where are you training right now, and who are some of your main training partners?
I am at Combat Sports Academy, CSA. It's in Dublin, California. I live here. I teach here. I've been here for the last 5 years, ever since moving back from Cincinnati. I mean, we have a ton of girls. I'm with Alexis Davis. That's my main training partner every day because she's getting ready for a fight as well. My sister, Stephanie Frausto, Jenna Fabian. There's so many people. I know. So many.
You got a lot of good training partners.
We have a lot of high level girls. Jessie Jess or Jessica Clark. She's coming back and forth with our team. We have a ton of high level female athletes at our gym. And my wrestling, I've been doing that with Alex Munoz, Team Alpha Male. So I go out there once a week, and they're out here a lot of the 2-3 days out of the week. So I've been doing a lot of my wrestling with them. Darren Winoyama, that's my MMA coach. It has been my jiu-jitsu coach for a while. Kieran Fitzgibbons. I just have so many great people that I work with here, and it's been amazing for me in my career, for my head. Yeah, I mean, I can't complain. I have everything I could possibly want and need here.
It's funny. Anytime I interview someone from California, like a prospect or whatever, they always mention going to CSA. That seems like the hot spot if you want to do some cross training. So that's cool to hear all that. How's the weight cut going? I mean, you're a master at this point because it's crazy to think that you used to fight at 115. I know that was a tough cut for you.
Yeah, 115 was always a tough cut. 25 is a tough cut now too because I'm a little older, so it's it's a little more mature, but I'm working with Dr. Andy Galpin, so he's helping me get down as safe as I possibly can to 25. I'm also working with another doctor, Gracie Liu, when it comes to gut stuff like that. So I have a lot of help. I have a lot of help with nutrition, with everything that's going on in my body after being an athlete for so many years and cutting so much weight for so many years. So it's looking good. You know, it's going to be rough, but I mean, I can do it.
And how do you see this fight playing out on February 22nd?
I mean, I would like a finish. It's been a while since I've been in MMA. You know, I know a lot. I feel really good as an athlete. I feel great striking. I feel great grappling. I feel my wrestling is on point. And I feel mentally strong. You know, I've been around for a very long time, so I know a lot now. And I just think that anywhere the fight goes or anywhere I want to take the fight, I should be able to. So. I would like a finish, you know, but I'm preparing for 15 minutes. So we'll have to see February 22nd.
And a key thing you mentioned in the interview here is that it is just a one-fight deal. So you're a free agent basically after this fight, whatever happens. And, I'm going to play a little hypothetical here. The UFC was supposed to have a card in Anaheim earlier this year. It ended up getting canceled. They don't have it. So they haven't been to California this year so far. The flyweight division is wide open. The girl who's fighting for the title next is someone you fought, Jessica I. I mean, I think the timing's pretty good here. If you could put together this win and, potentially maybe another fight or whatever, do you feel like the timing of you doing this comeback, so to speak, to MMA is good at this point?
I do. I feel like it is. And at this point in time, I put a lot of my time and energy into why I'm not in the UFC, and I'm not going to just hope on that anymore, because me as a fighter, the value that I bring to the table anywhere I go is going to be good. So if I don't make it there, then you know what? I don't have a problem fighting anywhere else. If somebody's going to treat me right, especially at this point in my career, if they're going to treat me right and they're going to pay me, then I'm good. So we'll see. We'll see what comes out of this. I just really want to stay busy more than anything this year. So if they don't come knocking on my door after this fight, I don't have a problem with it. I'm sure somebody will be knocking on my door. So we'll see after February 22nd.
I agree. What about going back to Bellator? Is that an option? Because, Alimale McFarland's kind of running out of title challengers at this point, and I think it would be kind of cool, full circle, for you to come back and capture another title in Bellator.
It's very intriguing. Like I would love to do that. I was offered a contract with them years ago when they re-added the women's division, but I had just a bad taste in my mouth from Bjorn Rebney. Scott has it now, and then the management that I was working with was pushing on, no, don't sign, it's another 2 years, and then we won't be able to get to the UFC. So I took that, and I was like, okay, well, I didn't sign. And then now it's like, after seeing what they've been doing and how great it's been for the women, now I'm like, that's not a bad idea. So we'll see. The door's wide open for me now. So it's just about putting on a great performance, getting back to MMA, and we'll see where it goes from there.
And they do a lot of events in California as well. Their headquarters are there. So just saying, the timing, like I said, might work out quite well. But
yeah.
Zoila, I really appreciate the time. It was great talking to you. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you have any sponsors or shout outs, the floor is yours.
I'm really active on Instagram. It's at Zoila Frausto, Zoila Frausto. I have a Facebook, Twitter, but I'm mainly on Instagram. I'm at CSA, Combat Sports Academy in Dublin, California, every day. I don't know. I have so many sponsors. I have food sponsors.
And you probably put them on your social media, right? So that was
they're on my social media as well. The doctors that I told you I was working with, those are really big for me. Cooper Sports, they've helped me as far as like recovery and just being a better athlete. Coach Kieran Fitzgibbons, he's been amazing for my career. And just anybody that I forgot, I'm sure I've forgot a lot of people.